Right, Putala. Today we are going to discuss our CAT paper 1, continuous assessment test paper 1. Let's start the discussion. Puthe, read the first question. Which one of the following pairs of prefixes has an equal ratio? Putala, to answer this question, you need to know the values of each prefixes. Puthe, let me revise the prefixes. Kilo, mega, giga, tera, decicentimilli, multiples and submultiples, no? Decicentimilli, micro, nano, pico. Kilo 10 to the power 3, mega 10 to the power 6, giga 10 to the power 9, tera 10 to the power 12. Kilo, mega, giga, tera, deci 10 to the power minus 1, centi 10 to the power minus 2, milli 10 to the power minus 3, decicentimilli, micro 10 to the power minus 6, nano 10 to the power minus 9, pico. Pico is simple p, right? 10 to the power minus 12. Right? Now you can identify the answer as the fifth one, right? Balana puthe ratio in the fifth one. Pico over micro. Pico 10 to the power minus 12. Micro 10 to the power minus 6. Then the answer is 10 to the power minus 6. Ratio is 10 to the power minus 6. Then milli over kilo, milli 10 to the power minus 3, kilo 10 to the power plus 3. When you bring this term from here to here, 10 to the power minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 3, no? Sign of the index changes, then the answer is 10 to the power minus 6, right? Therefore, the answer is fifth one. Right, Budhe? Right, Pudala. Let's see the second question. Consider the following statement made about the information that can be obtained from the dimensional analysis. Read the first statement. Numerical values of constant of proportionality that may appear in a physical equation can be determined by dimensional analysis. Puthe, this one is an incorrect statement. Why? You cannot obtain numerical value by using dimensional analysis. Right, Puthe? An equation can be derived only if it is product type. Yeah, it should be a product type. My product type can, if capital A is equal BC over D, this one is a product type equation. එතකොට ළමයි මොකක්ද අන්තය මේ A equal BC plus D over E. Two terms are added, right? Or capital A equal BC minus D over F. These two terms are subtracted, right? These type of equation you cannot obtain by using dimensional analysis. Got it? Right. Capital B statement is a correct statement. Then read the capital C statement. In any case where a physical quantity is associated with more than 3 other physical quantities, the relationship between those quantities cannot be derived using dimensional analysis. Right, Puthe? This statement is an incorrect statement. Why I'm telling this? Puthe, did you remember? You have derived the relation, this relation, volume rate through a capillary tube, horizontal capillary tube. Let me explain. This one is a capillary tube, length simple L, inner radius simple R, viscosity of the flowing liquid eta, pressure difference of the flow at the two ends delta P. Right. Then here you have derived the relation. Delta V over delta T directly proportional eta to the power A, R to the power B, delta P to the power C, and L to the power D. පුතේ ඔයාලට මෙතෙන්දි මේ physical quantities හතරම අරගෙන derive කරන්න බැරි වුණා. But you can reduce these physical quantities, these two physical quantities into a single physical quantity called pressure difference per unit length, pressure gradient. Then you can derive the relation by using these three terms. Puthe, you should remember to derive a relationship between physical quantities by using dimensional analysis. You need to consider three terms. Unknown letters තුනයි තමයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ. There can be more than three physical quantities, but you should narrow those physical quantities up to 3 terms, right? මෙතන ළමයි මේ වගේ තුනක් තමයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. If you can narrow the number of physical quantities into single physical quantities, then you can derive the relation, right? Therefore, this statement is an incorrect statement. And you should remember, when you narrow two physical quantities into a single physical quantities, these two physical quantities must have a similar relation with the volume rate. ඇයි ළමයි මම එහෙම කියන්නේ? මේ දෙන්නට similar මෙයත් එක්ක similar relationship එකක් තිබ්බොත් නේද ළමයි ඔයාලට මෙතන single letter එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Correct? ඒක මතක තියාගන්න, when you are narrowing two physical quantities into a single physical quantities, those physical quantities must have similar relation with the volume rate. හරිද? ඒක මතක තියාගන්න. එතකොට මතක තියාගන්න පුතේ අපිට finally ළමයි equation එක derive කරන්න යනකොට මේ unknown letters තුනක් තමයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. indices unknown indices තුනක් තමයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට unknown indices තුනක් එන විදිහට you can narrow the given physical quantities up to 3 terms. Then you can derive the relation. Right? Correct? Therefore, the capital C statement is an incorrect statement. Right? Hari lamai. Right, Pute? Read the question number 3. The angle between two vectors is correctly given from any of the following values of angles. 120 දීලා තියෙනවා නේද පුතේ? Right. First of all, you need to know the meaning of the angle between the two vectors. So the angle between the two vectors is the angle between two vectors when the two vectors extend from a single point O approach to a single point. මේකට තමයි ළමයි angle between the two vectors කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? Right, Pute. Let's see the first case. Pute, in the first case, two vectors do not approach to a single point or extend from a single point. Therefore, this one is wrong. 120 angle between the two vectors. In the second case, two vectors approach to a single point. Therefore, 120 is the angle between the two vectors. In the third case, two vectors approach to a single point. ඒ වුණාට ළමයි මෙතන අපි මෙන්ෂන් කරලා තියෙන angle එක 120. Angle between the two vectors is theta, this one. It should be a 60 degree, not 120. Make a parallel. Therefore, the answer is capital B. Only B is true. Right, Pute? Let's see the next question. Right, Pute? Let's see the question number 4. One of the rectangular components of a force of 12 Newton is 6 root 3. The other component is, Pute, to identify the two perpendicular component of a given vector, you need to represent the given vector as a diagonal of a rectangle. Then you can obtain the two component by these two adjacent side. Pute, one component is given, right? 6 root 3. Then you need to find the other component. Pute, if this side is y, Pute, in a rectangle, this one is a parallelogram, no? In a rectangle, opposite side are equal in length, no? Therefore, the length of this side is y. Then you can obtain then you can obtain this perpendicular component by applying Pythagoras theorem for this right angle triangle, right? 12 squared should be equal to y squared plus 6 root 3 squared. 12 squared 144, y squared 36 into 3. Then the answer is 144 minus the hearting 108 ne, is equal to y squared. Then මෙතන එනවා පුතා 6 36 නේද? 36 is equal to y squared, then y is 6. This component is 6 Newton, right? Right, Pute. Here the same answer you can obtain by using another method. Let me explain. Pute, you can represent the given vector as a diagonal of a rectangle. Then you can identify if this angle is theta, then this horizontal side should be 12 cos theta. This vertical side should be 12 sin theta. Pute, this one is given as 6 root 3. That is 12 cos theta is equal to 6 root 3. Pute, ඔයාලට මෙතනින් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් තීටාගේ වැලියු එක. Let me explain. 12 cos theta is equal to 6 root 3. Then cos theta is equal to 6 root 3 divided by 12. Theta is equal cos inverse root 3 over 2. මෙතන cancel වෙනවනේ 1 to 2. Then theta is 30 degree. Now you know the angle theta, then you can find 12 sin theta. 12 sin 30, sin 30 is half, then the value is 6. Vertical component is 6 Newton. Got it? Same answer. මේ ඔයාලට පුතේ මේ Pythagoras theory එක apply කරලා එහෙම නැත්නම් horizontal vertical components වලට trigonometry ratios වලින් expression අරගෙන same answer එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Let's see the next question. Right, Pute, let's see the next question. In an experiment to find the gravitational acceleration, a student measured the time of one oscillation. The percentage error of the measurement is 5%, right? The least count of the watch is 0.1 seconds. The measurement is, Pute, to find the measurement, just you need to know the expression for the percentage error. Percentage error is equal to maximum error over measurement into 100. Here this maximum error is equal to the least count, right? Then percentage error is 5%. Maximum error is the least count of the instrument, no? 0.1 seconds. Then measurement into 100. Then the answer is measurement is 10 seconds, 0.1 into 100, no, 10 seconds divided by 5. The answer is 2 seconds, right? මේක නම් easy නේද ළමයි? ඔයාලා percentage error වලට ඕන වෙන expression එක දැනගෙන හිටියා නම් ගේම කොට දාන්න තිබ්බා, right? Let's see the next question, පුතේ. Right, පුතේ, read the question number 6. The periodic time capital T of the oscillation of a gas bubble caused by an explosion in water is given by T equal P to the power A, D to the power B, and E to the power C. You need to find the values of A, B, C, right, Pude? If this equation is a dimensionally correct equation, you can equate the dimensions of the equation at the two sides. Dimensions of LHS should be equal to dimension of RHS. May the dimensions equal in one. Then dimensions of capital T time capital T is given. Dimensions of pressure ml minus 1 T minus 2. Simple A. Dimensions of D density ml minus 3. B. Dimensions of E energy ml squared T minus 2. C. Then put a capital T is equal to m to the power A plus methane B plus C into L to the power minus A, L to the power minus 3B plus 2C. And then T to the power minus 2A minus 2C. Putala, you can obtain the answer by considering dimensions of M. May balan puti? At the left side of the equation, dimensions of capital M is 0. That is dimension of capital M is 0. You can write an expression for the dimension of capital M. 0 is equal to A plus B plus C. It should be equal to 0. දැන් බලන්න ඔය දීපු values වලින් sum එක 0 වෙන value එක මොකක්ද කියලා. මෙහෙමයි. එහෙම choices දෙකක් වගේ තියෙනවා නම් you need to find the values for A, B, C by using these equations, right? But here there is only one answer, no? In the third one, the sum is equal to 0. බලන්න පුතේ. Minus 5 over 6 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3. common denominator එක 6 අරගන්න -5 මෙතන +3 මෙතන +2 then the sum is 0 right එතකොට මේ වගේ question එකකදී පුතේ අර අපි dimensions of m අරගෙන simultaneous equations වලින් dimensions of t හොයලා dimensions of l අරගෙන එහෙම ඕනේ this one is MCQ નો එතකොට ඔයාලට තියෙන shortest possible method එක හොයලා එතනින් answers වලට යන්න පුළුවන් got it right පුතේ let's see the next question right පුතේ read the question actual reading of inner diameter of a test tube measured using vernier caliper is 3.55 3.55 centimeter 35.5 millimeter instrument has 0.03 centimeter positive zero error that is 0.3 millimeter okay in the instrument there is a positive zero error Udala, that is you will obtain your reading 0.3 millimeter or 0.03 centimeter greater than the real length right ඔයාගේ measurement එක ළමයි 35.5 millimeter වලට වඩා 0.03 millimeter වැඩි වෙනවායි මේ instrument එකේ positive zero error එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා තියෙනවානේ therefore then you can obtain your reading will be 35.8 millimeter. Okay. This length you can obtain by using the main scale. Therefore, main scale reading is 35 millimeter. Okay. By using vernier caliper, you will obtain 0.8 millimeter length. To obtain 0.8 millimeter length as a reading of vernier scale, okay, 8 vernier division, here the least count of the vernier scale is 0.01 millimeter නේ. ඒකනේ පුතේ මෙතන decimal point එකක් නේ තියෙන්නේ. Right? To obtain 0.8 millimeter length as the vernier reading, 8 vernier division should be aligned with a main scale division. තේරෙනවද? ඒක නිසා here you can observe that in the first choice 8 vernier division align with the 43 main scale division. Therefore, the answer is first one, right? Right, Pute, let's see the next question. Reading of micrometer screw gauge while measuring the diameter of metallic sphere is shown in the figure. Right, let's find the reading. Reading is main scale reading is 0.5 millimeter. Then the circular scale reading, you will obtain this unknown length by using the circular scale. Least count into number of circular scale division aligned with the principal axis. Here the 29 circular scale division aligned with the principal axis of then the answer is 0.5 millimeter plus 0.29 millimeter. 0.79 millimeter is the reading, right? This one is the reading. Then zero error due to rusting layer between anvil and Udala, if there is a rusting layer between the anvil and the spindle, there is a positive zero error. If there is a positive zero error, your reading should be 0.04 millimeter. Length equal to the thickness of the rusting layer greater than the real value. Therefore, to obtain the real length, you need to deduct this zero error from your answer. Therefore, the corrected reading or your measurement should be 0.75 millimeter. Fifth one is the answer. Got it? Right, Lamai. Let's see the next question. Right, Lamai, read the question. Circular scale of spirometer consists of 50 division. If the circular scale moves 1 millimeter distance during 2 complete turns of circular scale, okay, then you can find the pitch. To move 1 millimeter distance, it should be completed 2 revolution. Therefore, the pitch is defined as axial distance traveled by the circular scale per one revolution. එතකොට මෙයා revolutions දෙකකට යන්නේ 1 millimeter. Per one revolution 1 millimeter divided by 2. Therefore, the pitch is 0.5 millimeter. Let's see the question. You need to find the reading. Pute, in normal cases, the length of main scale division is equal to the pitch. But in this case, the main scale is calibrated in millimeters. Did you see? බලන්න අපි normal case එකක් ගත්තොත් ළමයි, if the pitch is 0.5 millimeter, the main scale is calibrated in 0.5 millimeter. But in this case, the pitch is 0.5 millimeter, but the main scale is calibrated in 1 millimeter. ඒක not good නේද ළමයි? Right. එතකොට උතන තමයි වරදින්නේ. Right? Then you should understand when this circular scale moves from 3 millimeter to 4 millimeter, this 23rd circular scale division will align 2 times with the main scale. ඇයි ළමයි එකක් 3.5 millimeter වලට කලින් එතකොට එක turn එකක් complete කරනවා at the 3.5 millimeter වෙනකොට ඊළඟට දෙවනි revolution එකේදී ආපහු 23 align වෙනවා. Therefore, in this case, you need to consider 2 readings, right? බලමු first එක ළමයි. 3 millimeter plus. The second point is this one is a below 0 reading. Therefore, you need to deduct this division from the total number of circular scale division. ඒක මතක තියෙන්න ඕන හොඳද? Then the answer is 3 millimeter plus 0.27. 3.27 millimeter. This one is not given. Therefore, you need to consider the second reading. Second reading is, for the second reading, main scale reading is not 3 millimeter, it should be 3.5 millimeter. I put a turn complete karalani plus 0.01 millimeter into again 50 minus 23. 3.5 millimeter plus 0.01 millimeter into 27. 3.5 millimeter plus 0.27 millimeter, then the answer is 3.77 millimeter. This one is the answer. Right? Answer is fifth one. Right. Let's see the next question. Right, Pute, read the question number 10. A specially designed circular vernier scale is used by a spectrometer. Main scale is marked by 1 degrees and the vernier scale has 60 divisions. But you can observe that there are only 12 vernier division, right? The scale reading should be, okay, first of all, you need to identify number of circular scale division. Sorry, first of all, you need to identify number of vernier division. Pute, මේක ළමයි 0 ඉඳලා 60 වලට calibrate කරලා තිබ්බට you can observe that even if the scale is calibrated up to 0 to 60, there are only 12 divisions. Divisions ගාන ගන්නොත් තියෙන්නේ only 12 divisions, right? Then you need to identify a number of main scale division that align with the vernier scale. To identify that, you can rotate this circular vernier scale until this 60th or 12th vernier division align with the 71 main scale division. Then you can observe that this 0th vernier division align with 48 main scale division, right? Now you can identify the number of main scale division. 71 minus 48, 23. Then you can observe that 23 main scale division are aligned with 12 vernier division. Then you can find angle of vernier division. 0, 1 degree, 2 degree. This one is the angle of vernier division, this angle. 1 degree into 23 divided by 12. Then you need to convert this angle into minutes. 60 minutes now. 60 minutes into 23 divided by 12. Then the answer is 115 minutes. Therefore, the angle of vernier division is 115 minutes. From here to here, 120 minutes. Therefore, the least count is 5 minutes gap between these two divisions. Then you can observe that this 20th or 4th vernier division align with the 55 main scale division. Then the reading is first gap, second gap, third gap, fourth gap. 47 degrees plus this unknown angle is 5 minutes into 47 degrees, 20 minutes. Right? Answer is second one. Right, Putala? Right, Pute, let's see the answer for the question number 11. A, B, C, D are 4 measurements taken from different measuring instrument. Right? Here you need to identify each measuring instrument. In the first measurement, you have taken measurement in millimeters. Therefore, this measurement you can obtain by using meter ruler. In the second measurement, Pute, you have measure up to 2 millimeter decimal point. Therefore, this measurement you can obtain by using traveling microscope, micrometer, screw gauge, or spirometer. Habai lamai, by using spirometer, you can take measurements up to maximum measurement 10 millimeter. Millimeters. Therefore, this measurement you cannot obtain by using spirometer. When using micrometer screw gauge, you can obtain measurements up to 2.5 centimeter, 25 millimeters. 25 millimeter. Therefore, this measurement should be taken by using traveling microscope. ඒක පුතේ සෙන්ටිමීටර් 15කට පුළුවන් vertical scale එකේ, horizontal scale එකේ 15 to 30 පුළුවන් centimeters, right? එතකොට this measurement should be taken by using traveling microscope. Right? C. In the C measurement, you have measured up to first decimal point. Therefore, it should be taken by using vernier caliper. Right, Pute? Last measurement, you have measured up to first decimal point. It should be taken by using triple beam balance. Pute, make a 4 beam balance again. If it measure by using 4 beam balance, you will obtain answer in 2 decimal point. හැබැයි මෙතන gram leveling decimal point එකයිනේ තියෙන්නේ. Therefore, it should be taken by using triple beam balance. Therefore, the answer is third one. Third එක තමයි answer එක පුතේ. Right, ළමයි. Let's see the answer for the next question. Right, Pute, let's see the answer for the question number 13. Here you need to identify correct statement, right? Read the first statement. These adjustments are applicable to measuring the internal vertical diameter of the open end of the tube. Yeah. These are relevant to internal vertical diameters, these two adjustments, right? Right. Capital A statement is a correct statement. And you should remember, Pute, when you observe an open end of a tube through a microscope, you will obtain inverted image, right? Therefore, this simple A observation, reading corresponding to simple A is related to the lowest point of the tube. And this reading, simple B reading, is related to the highest point, right? Why? You will obtain inverted image, no? Right? Read the capital B statement. The reading corresponding to simple B is greater than the reading corresponding to the simple A. Make a වැඩි. This one is greater, right? Yeah, highest point එක. හැබැයි ඔයාට ඒක පේන්නේ inverted image එකක් විදිහට. එතකොට එයා පේන්නේ මේ විදියට හැබැයි ඔයා මතක තියෙන්න ඕන මෙයා තමයි highest point එක කියලා, right? Capital B statement is a correct statement. Then C, to get simple B adjustment from simple A adjustment, the vertical fine adjustment knob must be rotated in the anticlockwise direction. To obtain simple B adjustment from simple A adjustment, you need to move the microscope from here to here. That is, you need to microscope upward direction. To move the microscope upward direction, you need to rotate vertical fine adjustment knob up. You need to move the vertical fine adjustment screw upward direction. To move the vertical fine adjustment screw upward direction, you need to rotate it into anticlockwise direction, right? Therefore, C statement is a correct statement. Therefore, all the statements are correct. Answer is fifth one. Correct? Right, Pute, let's see the answer for the next question. Right, Pute, let's see the answer for the question number 14. In this question, they have given two vectors, having equal magnitudes, right? Then you need to find the magnitude of the resultant and direction of the resultant. Pute, you should remember these two vectors are equal in magnitude. Therefore, their resultant should be passes through the angle bisector. Therefore, this angle should be theta over 2. එතකොට ළමයි ආන්සර් එක ඔයාලා කනා ගැහුවත් ගහන්න ඕන එක O 3 අනිත් ඔක්කොම වැරදි. Got it? Then you can identify the answer. Pute, to find the answer, you can apply this equation. R squared equal P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. Then P squared plus 2P squared cos theta is equal to R squared. Then R is equal to 2P squared plus 2P squared cos theta. You can factorize 2P squared 1 plus cos theta. Then R is equal to square root of this one. Root 2P. This one is not given. Make a deal and Therefore, to find the answer, you need to follow another method. The second method is you can obtain, in the second method, you can obtain the resultant by considering component. Pute, you can consider the component of P parallel to the resultant, direction of the resultant. Now you know that this resultant bisect the angle, no? Therefore, you can consider the component of this P vector parallel to the direction of resultant and perpendicular to the direction of resultant. Then this component is P cos theta over 2. This one is P sin theta over 2. Again, you can consider the component of this P parallel to the resultant and perpendicular to the resultant. Parallel component is again P cos theta over 2, and this perpendicular component is P sin theta over 2. Now you can observe that these two components are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. These two components are equal in magnitude and acting towards the same direction. Therefore, the magnitude of the resultant should be 2P cos theta over 2. Therefore, the answer is third one. They got it? Right, Lamai. Let's see the answer for the next question. If the magnitude of the sum of the two vectors is equal to the magnitude of the difference between the two vectors, those two vectors can be. Pute, let me explain. Pute, do you remember when you apply parallelogram law to find the resultant of two vectors, you can obtain the resultant by using this diagonal that passes through the common initial point represent the sum of the two vectors. Right? And the other diagonal of the parallelogram, this one, represent the difference between the two vectors. right? According to this data, these two diagonals are equal in length. Why? Difference, sum is equal to difference, no? Therefore, the diagonal of the parallelogram should be equal in length. Therefore, the shape of the parallelogram should be a square. එක ස්පෙෂල් පැරලෝග්‍රම් එකක් ළමයි. ස්ක්වයර් එකක විතරයි පුතේ diagonals වල length equal වෙන්නේ. Therefore, the two sides, two adjacent sides should be equal in length. That is, the magnitude of the two vectors should be equal. Therefore, the answer is 3. Is the third one. Right පුතේ අපි paper discussion එක මෙතනින් නවත්තනවා. මේකේ තියෙන අනිත් questions ටික මම ඔයාලගේ theory class එකේදී කතා කරන්නම්. එතකොට next week එකේ අපි ඔයාලගේ mechanics lesson එකේ velocity time graph, displacement time graphs ගැන කතා කරනවා. ඉතින් ඔයාලගේ අලුත් යාළුවෝ class එකට join වෙන්න බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා නම් එයාලට පණිවිඩය කියන්න. එයාලට next week එකේ ආවත් class එක continue කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම මේ වෙනකන් කරපු lessons වල recording එයාලට අරගෙන වැඩේ කොට දාගන්න පුළුවන්. right? එහෙනම් ළමයි අපි ඊළඟ දවසේ හම්බෙමු.